Hey you guys, it's Peter and welcome to my channel, Peter Likes Books. And today I am so excited to make this video. Oh my God, this video has been weeks in the making, not because of my highly edited videos or my technological skills, but because of all the discussions that have happened behind the scenes. So today's video is about Peter's book club and some changes that are coming and what is going to be of Peter's book club in 2019, and I'm so excited. So Mel, she was the book club assistant. She is now the book club vice president. And so we have been talking a lot, and we've also been talking about changing the name of the book club. So I'm going to talk about that in just a second. But we've been talking about having a theme to every year going forward. And one of the things that we decided was that every year going forward, there will be a theme to the book club, meaning that every book that we read in that year will fall under some kind of theme. So it could be a genre. It could be like young adult. It could be, you know, like mystery thriller. It could be like classics. It's all going to have a theme to it, number one. Number two, every book that we read is going to be a book that is going to be easily accessible through Audible, through Amazon, through your library, through the Kindle, anywhere that you could, thrift books, things like that. We want to make sure that every book that we read is a book that somebody out there, if they want to read it too, they can find it, they can read it. That has been a problem in the past. So that has been one of the things that we've learned. The other thing is that we're going to only be reading one book a month. This is not the exciting big news. These are just kind of like the little detail changes. We're only going to be reading one book a month instead of 2 to 3 books a month. And so the 15th of every month before, we will be announcing the book for the next month. And maybe a little bit sooner. We're going to put some polls out and see what people want to read and all that kind of stuff. But typically, it will be announced between the 10th and the 15th of the month before, so that it will give people ample time to go and find the book that we're reading for the following month. The live book discussion, which if you didn't know, after we read a book, we have a live book discussion, will occur on the 30th, or not the 30th, this month it's the 30th. So this month we're reading David Sedaris' Holidays on Ice, if you'd like to join us. The live stream will be 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 30th. Going forward, it will be the last Sunday of every month at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And where it will be, whether it's going to be on YouTube or whether it's going to be on YouNow, will be linked below, and I will always let people know in advance. A lot of people have asked for me to do those on YouTube instead of YouNow, and I'm trying to figure out if I can switch over and do that. So once I have figured all that out, I will make that announcement so that people can come join us on YouTube as well for like a live hangout, live discussion. They've been really, really fun in the past. So I'm excited about all that. That's all the changes that are going on. And it's been awesome. We have like over 900 members in the book club now. And I know that 900 people aren't participating in every read, but it's still cool, you know, that there's like this book club that, like, I started it because I always wanted to be part of a book club, but I was kind of, my social anxiety was too much for me to actually walk through the door and go to a book club. So I was like, well, when in doubt, just start your own. And it was a virtual book club, so it was, you know, the fear was kind of taken away. And it's been very, very cool to, you know, like, have conversations with people about it. And I haven't been super active on the Goodreads thread, so going forward, I am going to be pretty active over there. You can find the group listed below all of my videos. It's listed underneath there, Peter's Book Club. And yeah, so number one, speaking about the changing title possibly of the club, you know, it's pretty presumptuous that it's called Peter's Book Club, but when I started it, I didn't really think much about it. Now that there are so many people in there, and it's like, I'm just kind of the one, like, making the announcements about the videos, and Mel is like, let me just tell you, okay? You know when you have, like, the play and all that kind of, she's basically the director of the book club. I mean, she is running the show, okay? And she's so awesome, and I love her so much, so thank you so much, Mel. And, I literally just got off the phone with her like 10 minutes ago, and we were so excited talking about all this kind of stuff. So we're thinking about changing it, and I said, do you think that I should just change the title of the book club to The Book Club? And she was like, well, people say that they have a really hard time finding it. And I said, well, what if we called it something like the greatest book club in the entire world? And she started laughing, and she was like, or like, my book club is better than your book club. You know what I mean? But here's kind of really how I feel about it. Whatever book club that you're in, whatever book club, if you're in 5 of them, whatever book club you're part of, you should feel like it is the greatest book club in the entire world, right? Because you're in it. So I don't know, we might do something like that going forward, and we joked about making t-shirts that, you know, like group t-shirts or something like that. So I don't know, we'll see going forward. But we might be making that change, and if we do, we'll announce it around the 1st of January going forward into 2019. So, let me have a sip of my coffee. Are you ready? We took a poll over on Goodreads, and we also discussed a lot in the live stream about this, and I also got a lot of feedback from people when I talked about it in my vlog and on other videos about the idea of doing a year of true crime, okay? And we got a lot of positivity. We got a lot of positive responses back of people wanting to do that. We got a few people that said that they weren't interested in that, but I would say the huge majority was like totally down for doing true crime. So 2019, this is the big announcement. Are you ready? 2019, for Peter's Book Club, will be a year of true crime. We are going to read every month will be a different true crime book. And some of the books that we have been discussing are, let's see, we're going to read a book about the Black Dahlia. We're going to talk about Ted Bundy. We're going to talk about Richard Ramirez. And it's not going to be all serial killers. We're talking about the Night Stalker, David Berkowitz. We're going to, on it, well, I'm getting all the names mixed up. But anyway, we're thinking about doing a book about Eileen Wuornos. And then we're going to do some smaller ones too. Recently, I have been sent so many just ideas about books, and we've been looking into them because we want to make it a mixture of kind of some big names. Like, we're thinking about maybe like doing a book about the mob, something like that, you know? We wanted it to be about crime overall, not just serial killers. But I do think that a lot of it will be about that. And this is all kind of coming off of the fact that we did, one of the very first books that we ever did was I'll Be Gone in the Dark, about the Golden State Killer, and it got such a huge response. Like, people really seemed to like that book, and that live stream was very lively and very full. And I will tell you right now, if you love that book and you are on Audible, there is an Audible exclusive book that was written partly by Paul Holes, who is the investigator. I feel like I know so much about this case now because I read the book and I've listened to all the podcasts, mostly on My Favorite Murder, which I love, and I've heard all the interviews with the investigator, Paul Holes, who has since retired. And, but he helped write this book, and I can't remember what it's called. I should just look it up because I have it on my, I've already, you know I already bought it on my Audible. But it's like going in and talking further about the investigation and what really happened behind the scenes and things that they couldn't release before he was caught. And so it's super, super interesting. When you like read like the details about it, I'm like, I cannot wait to start this book. So anyway, there's that if you're interested in out there, if you're interested in that. So we have so many different ideas for books. We're going to try to put polls up every month, letting you guys kind of pick. Like, we'll probably be between 2 books of what you guys want to read the following month, and whichever one gets a bigger response will be the book that we read for the following month going forward, if that makes sense. So, that comes to January. When we read that book, I'll Be Gone in the Dark, after that, so many people were like, can we read another true crime? Can October be a true crime book? On and on and on. And, one of the other books that we're going to read about is about Columbine. We wanted to we want to make it just kind of a diversity of true crime, if that makes sense. So that at the end of the 12 months that we can walk away, if we've read all of the books in there, with a better understanding of like the main big book topics in true crime, if that makes sense. So that if you're at a dinner party and people are talking about, oh, I love true crime, and you can be like, well, I've read some true crime too. Well, what have you read? Well, I read The Son of Sam, and I read this, and I read that. And so they'll be like, oh my God, you know everything. Yes, because we're part of the greatest book club in the entire world. So anyway, but the book that we have decided to read for January is a book that came so highly recommended because so many people have said, we read this one, will you please read a book by Ann Rule? And Ann Rule's most famous book that she's ever written is called Stranger Beside Me. And Ann Rule is a true crime novelist, and she is just world-renowned for her writing. And I had heard a lot about her, and I had heard a lot about Stranger Beside Me, which is about Ted Bundy, the serial killer, and I had never read the book. So many, I can't even tell you how many people recommended this book to me. Okay, I can't even begin to tell you how many people recommended it to me. So let me read the synopsis for you, and I am going to put up, here, let me move over. I am going to, I don't know which way to put it. Okay, I'm going to put up the cover right here so you guys can see it while I'm reading it. And it is The Stranger Beside Me by Ann Rule. Okay. Utterly unique in its astonishing intimacy, as jarringly frightening as when it first appeared, Anne Rule's A Stranger Beside Me defies our expectation that we would surely know if a monster lived among us, worked alongside us, appeared as one of us. With a slow chill that intensifies with each heart-pounding page, Rule describes her dawning awareness that Ted Bundy, her sensitive co-worker on a crisis hotline, was one of the most prolific serial killers in America. He would confess to killing at least 36 young women from coast to coast, and was eventually executed for 3 of those cases. Drawing from their correspondence that endured until shortly before Bundy's death, and striking a seamless balance between her deeply personal perspective and her role as a crime reporter on the hunt for a savage serial killer, the brilliant and charismatic Bundy, the man she thought she knew, Rule changed the course of the true crime literature with this unforgettable chronicle. So we're going to read that. I think like one of the other books that she and I didn't talk a lot about, oh god, and I just talked about, In Cold Blood by Truman Capote, which was literally one of the very first books that, was the whole idea of true crime documentarian in a book kind of thing. And then also Joseph Wambaugh has written a lot of books that kind of like changed the whole perspective of true crime and all that kind of stuff. I feel like I have something off my eye. So anyway, it's going to be very exciting. We're going to read all kinds of stuff. It's not going to be what you expect. We're going to talk about all kinds of things on there. I'm really, really excited about it. If you guys have recommendations for what you would like to read that's true crime, put it in the comment section below. Go, just like browse your true crime section, Google true crime books, see what you want to read about. We are totally open to anything. I am so excited about this. This is one of my favorite genres of reading, and I've read it since I was really young. I will tell you that one book that I'm really wanting to put on this list, but maybe I need to keep it a secret. It's a book that like really changed my perspective because it happened in Indiana, and it was by Aphrodite Jones, and that's all I'll say. So anyway, but it's shorter, and one of the things that I want to do is I don't want to make it all about just like big case serial killers. I do want to throw in a couple shorter books in there that are about smaller cases that we don't really know a whole lot about, because sometimes those are the more interesting books, if that makes sense. So, should I tell you what it was? Okay, so if you guys, we probably won't put it on the list, because one of the things I learned in 2018 was don't put a reread on your book club list, because you'll be bored to death. So, Cruel Sacrifice, which is by Aphrodite Jones, which is about the killing of Shanda Shear in Madison, Indiana, and the killers are actually out of prison now, and there's been Dr. Phil shows about this and everything. You can go look it all up on YouTube. Here, I'll put it right here. Cruel Sacrifice by Aphrodite Jones. Was one of the most, it was one of the most powerful, short-ass, not the most well-written true crime novels I ever read, but I literally read it in one sitting, and I remember it just kind of like terrified my thinking of how people really think, And at that point, after I read that, I just got enthralled with true crime. So that was kind of one of the very first books that started this all for me. So I don't know, what do you guys think about that? I'm sure there are a few of you out there that are like, oh, I don't really want to read true crime, but you should try at least one book with us and see if you like it. And I'm really, really excited about this. We're going to try to match certain books with certain things, if that makes sense. So, like the books that, like, when all the killings took place in the summer, we're going to try to read those books in the summer, because of course, why wouldn't it? It would be scarier, And, maybe, like, also, while we're reading a certain book, like, talk about, like, other literature out there, or other books or articles that have been written about this that you can also read that will, like, help understand the story a little bit more. So, I'm really, really excited about it. Let me know what you think. Stranger Beside Me, we're starting at January 1st. And the live book discussion for that will be the last Sunday in January. That sounds like the title of a movie, doesn't it? And it will be at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I hope you guys are excited about joining this. We've already started talking about what the theme is going to be for 2020. Not much, but we kind of threw some ideas out there of what we could do. And I don't know, I'm just super excited about this idea going forward. And it's kind of something that just organically grew, and we didn't know that it was going to turn into this. So thank you for everybody that has joined the book club. If you're on Goodreads, friend me. I accept everybody's friend requests on Goodreads. I'm obsessed with Goodreads. It's probably one of my favorite social media platforms. It's just super friendly. I love it. You know what I mean? So anyway, let me know if you're joining the book club, and let me know if you're going to read this book, and if you have any recommendations for true crime, put them below. I love you guys. And one of the questions I get asked really quick is that, how do you join the book club? Really, all you have to do is go over to Goodreads, join the book club. If you don't have Goodreads, just watch the videos, read the books with us, just show up for the live streams if you can. It's just not that deep. It's just like, read the book with us. That's all, you know, you have to do. And you don't have to read all the books. You can just pick and choose which ones you want to read from month to month. And so, yeah. Anyway, and I hope you'll join because we're having a lot of fun over there. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.